Folk Wrestling back again with some damn NXT. We're back with NXT, folks. Yes, we are. Are you looking forward to it and going to enjoy the review? What's the aftermath of the draft? There's actually a lot of matches scheduled for tonight, and we got a lot of matches, some pretty good segments as well. And yeah, we're going to dive straight into this matchup. So basically, we kick off the show. Wesley, he has Pete Dunne in his corner against Drew Gulak for the North American title. He has William Regal's son, Big Dempsey, Charlie Dempsey, Blackpool Tar, Scooby-Doo, 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 Scooby-Doo. Anyway, was this match very good? I don't know, like, what the fascination is with Wesley just like winning every single match, but that is pretty much what happened here. Wesley wins every match he's in these days, and he beats Drew Gulak. Yes, there's like outside shenanigans, but nothing major here. Nothing major, nothing drastic, nothing like groundbreaking. It's a match to kick off the show with a title on the line. Whoop-de-doo. Do we really care that much? Not really. Next up, we have Trick Williams. He comes out to the ring. He basically calls out Bron Breakker. I thought Trick Williams was MVP of tonight's show. I thought he is very good. Trick Williams, like, I think he is underutilised as Carmelo Hayes' side piece, but a mouthpiece at the same time. Fuck, what's going on with these two players? But at the same time, I think it suits him, that character too. But basically, he calls out Bron Breakker. Bron Breakker comes out, he's like, I don't give a damn about these fans. And he's like, in Scott Steiner mode, he's out dressed in black, he's got the cross on him, you know, it was actually a very, very good decision to turn him heel. But Trick Williams challenges Bron Breakker to a match. Bron Breakker's like, yeah, just not tonight. You're gonna get me next week. 33% chance of winning next week when you take on the biggest arms in the world, baby. Bron Breakker, player. And then, yeah, looks that'll be a good match next week. I am actually looking forward to that. Next up, we have Gigi Dolan. Gigi. On a puffery with Gigi Dolan taking on JC Jane. And just as I predict it, JC Dolan. JC Jane does pick up the win. It was an alright match. Her brother, Gigi Dolan's brother, was in the crowd, but JC Jane won. And there was a point, I don't know if it was I don't know what spot it was. I'm pretty sure it was a super kick for Gigi Dolan that absolutely busted open JC Jane. But there was a lot of blood, and it's shit. Like, you get blood, right? And then, like, they do their best in the clips. I say they do the best. They literally just black out. Like, there's nothing else other than that. Which, in my opinion, that sucks. Like, yeah, I mean, I know they've cut out blood, but seeing there is blood, do we need to go to black and white? Like, any time recently that they've called for blood, like when Brock busted open at Orton with the elbows, we were meant to see that. But Becky Lynch in her nose, that turned into the quote-unquote an iconic moment. So why does it have to always get paid away, guys? Come on, not really too sure. We then cut to, I think it's called Daddy's Bar or something. We've got Brooks Jensen, he returns, he basically apologises to the gang, and they're like, oh, don't worry, mate. It was good to remember how hard you hit. Then these like two blondes walk up to him, hey, Brooke, you wanna come and drink with us? And he's like, no, it's alright, I'm catching up with two old friends. So, number one, what's Brooke Jensen doing? And number two, what's Brooke Jensen doing? He's put to get a 2-for-1. And he jobbed it because he wants to play with the other guy. I don't know, I can't remember which one of these two is the virgin, but they're like, he's getting back to his old self. What, the virgin self? What, did he turn into a pimp player in the last couple of months? Who knows? But you know what, I actually enjoyed this segment. NXT normally delivers with promos and segments. We then have Exeum taking on Scripps. I did not care about this match. I think in the preview I did go with Exeum, and he wins. He does eventually. He actually unmasks Scripps. So, I mean, unmaskings are, I mean, they're all right for what they are, but at the same time, it's like, when it's a bum, does it really matter? Like when Rey Mysterio gets unmasked, or like, you know, when CM Punk got his mask ripped off after he was bald, it's shit like that has a big deal. Or like when DDP ripped his mask off to reveal that he was the Undertaker's wife, Sarah Stalker. I mean, that's big moments. This, not so much. But in the fuse department, this got 77 thousand views, which is, I think it actually is the highest viewed clip of NXT. It only has a 48-second clip, like so many people clicked on it knowing I can't be arsed sitting through all the rest of them. Up next, though, we have JD Madonna defeating Dragon Lee. He does get help for Noam Dar here. Noam Dar, the Scottish supernova, pal. Again, there was a point where Bobblehead felt like a relatively big deal, but I don't know. It's just another match. I don't know. I feel like in NXT, like the matches aren't particularly long, but there's just a lot of matches each week that you literally do not care about. And yeah, this one takes the biscuit troops. This is just not very. This is just not a very good match. Like no one can honestly sit here and say that they're buzzing for this match, in my opinion. So yeah, glad this match is. I say glad this match is over. I mean, it's just a throwaway fucking match. Like, do these two have any sort of future? Like, there's just people, right? You look at NXT, like they're never getting called up. But then when you looked at the draft on Sunday, on Friday and Monday, the people getting called up was like, fuck, anyone for NXT could literally get called up. I mean, apart from Grayson Waller and Pretty Deadly and like Indi Hartwell, the rest were fucking shite. You know, like they called up the tag team challengers and the tag team champs. Who cares about them? Honestly, I think Bron Breakker's getting punished because of his daddy, Rick Steiner, the wee rascal. Honestly, I honestly think that's what's happened, but you know what? It is what it is, and I guess we've got to move on give me my 2 cents for now. But yeah, JD Madonna wins here with the help of the Scottish Supernova. We then have Joe Gacy defeating Joe Coffey. Both parties get involved here. But basically it ends with Joe Coffey is about to beat Joe Gacy, but they put Joe Gacy's foot on the rope so the ref sees it, breaks it up. And then The Rock's daughter gets in the ring and she's like, it's weird. She stands like The Rock, she looks like The Rock, but she's a woman. She shouldn't look like The Rock, guys. She really shouldn't look like The Rock. And yeah, it's weird. And then basically Joe Coffey doesn't want to punch her because she's a lady. Oh, she's a lady. Yep, understand it. And then Joe Gacy batters Joe Coffey. Boom, he wins. So the Schism are going to now have a tag team match for the tag titles against Gallus, Jockey Wilson. You want to hit a 180 there, big man? What we drink? Iron brew. Aye, that's what we want to do, son. So, aye, good night. We move on. Then we cut to the Performance Centre. This was a fucking disaster of a segment. We've got Eddie Thorpe saying, yeah, I was training well, guys. And then Damien Cape walks in, throws him a fucking bottle and turns around and says, well, mate, you're used to sleeping on gym floors, so how about you clean up after us? And that's pretty much the segment. So yeah, I said NXT is good segments, but you know what? I wouldn't say this was exactly spectacular, but the next segment was good. The next segment was good. We had Duke Hudson filling in for Andrew Chase at Chase University. Andrew Chase basically is phoned in sick to class today because of the beatdown he suffered due to Bron Breakker. And then basically Duke Hudson takes over and he's like, I haven't actually been planning this, and he slams down a textbook that says Duke University, and it's like 2023, 2024. And he's like, we're going to learn about the draft. The first draft was in 2002. And like, cause he's like, and then he rips up the pop quiz. And Fia Hale just gives this look with her mouth wide open that personally I think is going to get turned into a meme. Because as you can see, it looks like, you know, Brazzers, PH, X videos, XXXX sort of deal going on there. Anyway, I digress. You get me. We then have Danny Palmer taking on Tatum Paxley. Danny Palmer, her debut. It's an alright match, and you know what, like, even when no matter how much women get called up to the main roster for NXT, they're always able to replace them like a fresh bit of fresh air. I don't know, like, you look in WWE, like, they'll peel Triple H from back. Like, I made a video, it was coming later on, but 15 wrestlers Triple H shouldn't have brought back. You've like Dakota Kai, 34, a fucking nobody. At least bring people into the WWE fray who are young and up and coming. Why do they rely on indie bums that have done fuck all in their career? Especially like Dakota Kai. Honestly, man. But Danny Palmer wins here. We then have the women's tag titles on the line. We have we have Alba Fire and Isla Dawn defeating Kaden Carter and Katana Chance for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Again, this was kind of to be expected, but I did almost feel like they were going to do some sort of storyline where like it ended in a draw and like the belts would get vacated or something weird, or like another team would get added to this match and they'd win, because now the NXT tag titles are getting moved to the main roster, and they're getting to well, actually I think I know what they're going to do. They're moving to SmackDown, aren't they? And you've got the Raw Women titles that are on SmackDown or on Raw. Maybe they're gonna just have the NXT titles drift between NXT and SmackDown, the women's titles. I don't know. To me, that would be fucking stupid. But it's WWE. I wouldn't exactly put it past them. Trick Williams is outside in the parking lot. Apollo Crews says to him, "You've got what it takes, Trick. You're the man. You're brilliant. You're absolutely epic. You've got big things to come. I know I'm going to Monday Night Raw, but I'll always be keeping an eye out you." And Trick Williams like, "Thanks, man. That means a lot." Then backstage with Von Wagner, with his like psychiatrist, Mr. Stone. Mr. Stone's going through all these pictures. Wembley '92. Von Wagner's dad was a wrestler in Wembley night. I have no fucking idea who this guy's dad is, right? But are they showing this as like a dig at All In AEW because they're going to Wembley and like, look, we sold it in front of 93,000 people. What the fuck are you going to do, sort of thing, potentially. But then it gets to like another page and like there's pictures of Wagner as a baby. He's like, "What's this?" And Von Wagner's like, "Oh, I can't tell you. It's a secret. No, you're not allowed to know." And I couldn't quite clock what was actually in the book, but because obviously this guy's a free agent, Mr. Stone's trying to hype up the fact. Oh, where's he going to go? I don't know if he was wearing like a Raw t-shirt back in 2002 or something, or 2004 during a draft when he was like 10 or 5 or whatever age he was back then or something. But I don't actually know what could be so bad that's in these pictures that would, require something mental here. But then Indi Hartwell comes out on crutches. She announces a tournament to crown the new champion, says that she is forfeiting the belt. She is injured, of course. And things aren't looking good for Indi Hartwell. Not exactly what she needed going up onto the main roster, being injured. So yeah, that's not good. And she's basically saying her goodbyes. It's like, and then the crowd are chanting indie wrestling. Near threw up my mouth, man. Indie wrestling fucking sucks. Make no mistake about it. But yeah, that's exactly what they were chatting. I was like, bogging, disgusting, pish. No good, not good at all. And then as she's leaving, she's like, "I don't know how I'm going to get out of this ring." She goes to go out the ring, and who slides from under the ring? Dexter Lumis. Dexter Lumis carries her. She gives the thumbs up. They're going ballistic, the crowd. The commentators going, "Oh, Beth Phoenix will be gurning her eyes out at this one." Oh no. And then once these two go backstage, the belt is left in the ring. Then basically every single woman that's on the NXT roster comes out and they brawl for the belt. And yeah, that's all the clips I watched. That is your NXT. I thought it was actually a decent show, but I feel like it was lacking in terms of match quality, so I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10. The segments were very good, but the matches I just didn't really care for. But anyway, guys, leave your thoughts down below. Till next time, peace. Oh, my brother, testify. Now, hit the big red button, give your thoughts, and that's it.